Hi everybody, it's Erica. Welcome back to my channel. So as you may know, I am recapping every episode of Dark Season 2. Dark is my current favorite show. It's a sci-fi show about time travel on Netflix. If you aren't caught up, then you probably won't want to watch this video because this is about Season 2, Episode 2. So at the very end of Episode 1, we saw this big thing, like this big ball thing, and they didn't tell us what it was, but at the beginning of Episode 2 we find out that this is like the God particle. This is like the hole in time, but it needs to have like the right energy levels, and so Jonas is trying to get the energy levels right, but he can't do it. Then back in 1987, the apocalypse is in 6 days. Mikkel is sad because it's his real mom's birthday. And this is when we finally start to learn that there's some like weird stuff with Inez, his like adopted mother. It had always kind of seemed like she was great, but she like doesn't really want him to talk about his old family. What are you licking? Can you? Yeah, she doesn't really want him to talk about his old family. She keeps being like, the past is in the past. And it's like, yo, like if he wants to talk about his own parents, I kind of feel like you should let him do that. So also in Episode 1, Magnus had found out that his girlfriend and the sex worker, who we, in this episode, find out his name Benny, were like exchanging something. And so Magnus went to a place that I honestly have no idea why his brain went there, but he hopped all the way to thinking like, oh, my girlfriend is also a sex worker and that's how she gets money. And so he's like, oh, how'd you get that money? BJs and anal? And she's like, what the fuck? Like, first of all, you followed me. Second of all, I don't do anal. But for real, I don't know why, like, I don't think that most sex workers are like looking to bring other competition into their trailer, you know, so I don't really know why he just automatically assumed like, yep, they're in business together doing the same thing. Was it turns out that actually she sells Benny hormone medication because Benny is trans and needs estrogen, and Francisca's dad is the one who can get it because he's a therapist, and so he like prescribes it and then she sells it to her. So in the 2020 timeline, older Jonas shows Hannah the time machine, and he says, this episode they talk about secrets a lot and how they really should stop having so many secrets, and so he's like, I want to show you Dad's secret. So they go in the cave, they fire up the old time machine, and they go back to the 80s, and she sees Mikkel in their house, because it was the house he grew up in with Ines and now is, you know, Hannah's house, and she's like, oh my god, my husband really was Mikkel. Whoa, I never put together that like Mikkel looked so much like, this is one thing I always wondered about, since Mikkel looked so much like Michael when he was a kid, you know, exactly the same, how come nobody was ever like, wow, maybe Michael and Katarina fooled around because her kid looks exactly like him, but nobody went there. But yeah, so they just take a quick little trip back, check it out. That is something I thought about, is it seems like people are becoming more willing to like just take little pops through time, just like a little peek. And I wonder, first of all, do they have an infinite amount of cesium? Because I don't know where to get it. Seems like it wouldn't be that easy to come by. And there are also there have been some hints that maybe time traveling is a little difficult on your body, and so I feel like if I was going to time travel, I would want to do it for longer. I guess I'll just say that. I would want to like, I wouldn't just want to like pop in, see a couple cars and like leave. In the future, older Jonas starts distracting the like police officers or whatever they are by playing Elvis in this like abandoned building, and basically distracting all the police officers so he can siphon off their gas so that he can go use it to run the machine at the old power plant, so he can like get the energy level right and stabilize the God particle. I don't even really know if that's what I should be calling it, but I'm calling it that. In the 80s, Aegon is starting to like piece some things together, so he goes to talk to Helge, and he asks him about Mads and Ulrich and warum nicht Waldweg? Like, why didn't he take the forest road? And but yeah, Helge is just not really there anymore, and he's still caught up in this like wanting to fix things, and never really is able to just like clearly set things out for Aegon so he can understand what's going on. Then this episode features a lot of older Claudia talking to 80s Claudia. She shows her the time machine, she shows her how it works, and she says, you have to stop Adam. If you stop Adam, then Regina will live. Back to the future, Jonas is sneaking into the power plant with his like can of gasoline, and he gets caught. We know what happens when you get caught. You get murdered. And so he gets like strung up like he's going to be hung, and then Elizabeth shoots him in the leg. Feels like, you know, slightly overkill before you're going to hang somebody, and then hangs him. And you're in that moment, you're like, I'm pretty sure the lead of the show is not going to die right now. And you would be correct, because then Elizabeth she looks like she's thinking about it more, and then she basically shoots him down because she knows she has incredible aim. And I think that she never wanted to kill him. She has some reason why she's not killing him, but she still needed to show everyone like, hey, that doesn't mean you can just break the rules. In the 80s, Aegon, he starts putting some of these things together. He starts thinking, oh, maybe there is a connection between this stuff and this crazy guy 30 years ago who killed these children, and then I put him in prison. Barely thought about him in a while. How's he doing? Turns out he has been in a psych ward for the past 30 years. He's still there. So Aegon goes to visit him, and who is it? Yes, it is Ulrich. And this casting is so fucking good. Like, all the casting is like that with the older and the younger versions of people. But I'm like, the more I watch this episode and I see younger Ulrich and older Ulrich, I am just like blown away by how similar they look. Like and just how similar their essences are. And this actor, he is so perfect at being the Ulrich we know and maybe kind of love, at least begrudgingly like somewhat, who has spent 30 years in a psych ward, which is really sad because obviously he is not crazy. He's just from the future, duh. And Ulrich basically is like, oh my god, Aegon, you get older but you never get smarter. You seriously still don't understand what's going on here. In the future, Jonas is in jail. It looks like a large dog cage. He's very sad. And then that one girl, wait, I think her name is Fiona. She comes and she breaks him out, and she's like, listen, I'll get you out of here if you show me what is really in the death zone. Hey. So yeah, in the death zone, you know, the God particle, the part of God or the devil or whatever it is, she wants to know what the fuck it is and why they keep killing everyone who tries to look at it. Which is fair, you know, after a certain number of people you've killed in cold blood, you start questioning why. So Jonas shows her what's really in there, and you know, he like pours the gas in and, you know, turns it off and on or whatever and stabilizes it, and then it turns into this like big ball, you know, time ball, and he just goes, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna touch it, which I knew he was gonna touch it. And then he touches it, he goes inside, and that's the end of the episode. It's too much. I think this was a great episode. I loved it. It was not quite like the first episode was so jam-packed full of so many different like storylines and stuff, and this one was a little more streamlined, a little more low-key, but it did see Jonas, you know, the main character, almost dying. That was pretty dramatic. And yeah, I just think the second season is shaping up so good. I am going to make recap videos for all the episodes, but I'm going to Electric Forest this week, and so I won't be able to finish the videos until I get back. but I promise to make them when I get back. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel. I will be putting up videos from Electric Forest this week and then more recap videos from Dark when I get back. Okay, thank you. Bye.